Erik ten Hag had a lot of success at Ajax with a very specific style of play, and he's tried to implement that at Man United, and it's not going very well at the moment at all. And the dilemma he faces is, should he change that style of play to try and get results right now? Should he do that? Should he be pragmatic and play in a different way? Well, the thing is, if he's building for the future, the whole point of hiring him is to be able to implement a clear style of play that's going to work going forward. And if he does that and sticks to what he wants to do, we've seen so many faults with it already that he's probably not going to get the results. If he doesn't get the results in the short term, he might not keep his job long enough to be able to do the job that he's been hired to do. This is the dilemma he faces. Should he change how Man United play? And what is it he's trying to do anyway? What's going wrong? What's not working with them? Well, we know that Erik ten Hag teams keep possession. They want to pass forward quickly. They want to build through the lines. They play positional football, lots of rotations. They want to attack and they want to press high up the pitch. None of that suits the players that Man United have. First problem, the first phase of play is building out from the back. David De Gea is a goalkeeper who is not comfortable with or good at playing out from the back. Ten Hag has brought in players like Lisandro Martinez, who are adept at this sort of thing, but they've got big flaws in big parts of the team. And I'll show you the starting out from the goalkeeper. So first of all, when you want to build from the back, what they've been doing is playing from goal kicks to keep the ball here. And Brentford have caught them out, Brighton have caught them out by doing this sort of thing. Brentford know that if they wait for Man United to start playing out from the back, they'll get a pressing trigger on someone like Eriksen here, which they do, because De Gea doesn't think 2 steps ahead as a passing player. He's a goalkeeper, he's a shot stopper. He's not someone who can consider that if Eriksen is here with a player on his left shoulder, that's a bad pass, because Eriksen's only possible option is to go back to the keeper, who will then boot it. And we know that Erik ten Hag does not like his keeper booting the ball. De Gea should be able to spot this pass, should be able to play it, should be able to spot this pass, be able to play it. He doesn't. I'll show you exactly what it looks like on the pitch. So you can see that De Gea in the situation is here. He's looking up. You can see that this player's here. You can see this player's here. He should be aware of everyone's movements and the counter movements of the opponents to be able to analyse in real time where the next ball should go. Ball goes to De Gea. De Gea passes into Eriksen with a player tight to him. Really poor pass from De Gea, which puts him under too much pressure. There's no way he can get that ball into Maguire over there because of the angles of what's going on in the situation. That is the big problem, because De Gea's distribution is not good, and we've known it for a long time. Against Brighton, he's trying to play short passes. When he hits it long, like De Gea doesn't like, gives the ball away. If you hit it long, the ball's going to come back to you really quickly. We can see his distribution here, though, compared to a goalkeeper who can distribute the ball. And this is Andre Onana, who is the goalkeeper for Ajax for Ten Hag last season. So this is the locations of successful passes in the 21-22 Premier League season for De Gea and the 2020-21 Eredivisie season for Onana. And you can see the difference. De Gea can play the short ones to a centre-back, because even I can do that. But Onana can play the ball to the fullback, play the ball to the fullback here, even to the wingers. He can progress the ball. He can move the ball forward and take play forward because he's adept at passing out from the back. And that's just the first phase of play. And if we look more at what the next problem is, it's in midfield. And if you look at what Fred and McTominay do, it's always passing sideways. They cannot progress play. They're all about short passing sideways. And so you're stuck. If you're trying to play out from the back, you never get out of this first phase of play. So if you persist with having players like Fred in the 6, or maybe Eriksen here, they don't have a defensive midfielder here to help to protect the defence. Fred and McTominay, who's over here on the bench now, aren't able to progress the ball. So the ball, if you can get it out of these areas, goes here, and then suddenly you're looking at going passing short, and the ball just stays in this area. So better then probably is just to go long and make sure you're taking about the pitch, try and win a second ball, but then you lose control. That's another dilemma. Another dilemma also is in his midfield pairing. So Fernandes is better as a 10. He does very little in the way of pressing. So does Ronaldo, so does Sancho, so does Rashford. They're not very good at it. So if you have all these players on the pitch, you need more defensive cover. You don't get it with Christian Eriksen, you don't get it with Fred, you don't get it with McTominay. So if they try and press from the front, then you're not going to have the support you need at the back. And you've seen it time and time again with Man United, is that when they try and press from the front, they end up leaving themselves stretched, too much space between the forwards and the defence, with only these two in the middle to protect it. And what you get is, if you look at the team that lost to Liverpool last season under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, before Ralf Rangnick came in and changed everything, well, it just looks like this. It's the same sort of thing. This is what you get. You get this sort of team, and they would press high up the pitch. They were trying to progress from being a counter-attack team to one who could try and press a little bit, and all the goals Liverpool scored were a result of leaving Fred and McTominay with all of this, and basically all of this to look after each. Now that is too much for a human. It's definitely too much for Fred and McTominay. Fred and McTominay were just completely completely run over by Liverpool in that game. So the players United have just do not suit what Ten Hag wants to do. He's brought in players like Martinez and Eriksen to try and increase the technical ability of the players on the pitch so he can play what he wants to. But if Martinez is being targeted by players like Ivan Toney, and even Brighton were kicking goal kicks towards him and Luke Shaw on the left-hand side, does he persevere? Does he keep Martinez here? Does he keep Maguire? Low on confidence? If you drop him from the team, that might just crush him, and then you've got another problem to deal with. Lots and lots of problems. But the technical ability is one. They can't press in the front. Ronaldo doesn't want to. He wants to be able to just poach and score the goals. Fernandes is bad at it. He does a little bit. It looks like he's doing a pressing, but it's mostly on his own. Then he goes around and starts throwing his arms at everyone, doesn't do anything. Rashford isn't great at it, unfortunately. Sancho is kind of the same. Their numbers reflect it as well in data. And so if you want to play them to their strengths, how does it look? Well, first of all, you'd probably say that Martinez is good at playing out from the back, but no one else is. So maybe you take him out and put in Varane, a World Cup winner. There you go. So Varane and Maguire. Then you've got your two fullbacks, and you keep them a bit deeper. Keep them a bit deeper and have a double pivot. That way you've got a bit more coverage in the midfield here. You can stay deeper like this, which is going to attract the opposition onto you. So maybe a team's going to press them in a 4-3-3, we'll say, right? So if you play a bit deeper, the opposition can naturally force themselves up a little bit more. And then what you can do if you do that is leave your forwards high and wide, like Rashford and Sancho. Maybe Ronaldo can drop back a little bit. And so as you draw the team in, you create all the space behind the back line for you to be able to attack. You maybe create space in here, create space in here by being deeper. The opposition is nearer to your goal, which is dangerous, but you've got David De Gea who can stop all the shots. And if De Gea just kicks it long, why, Sancho might be able to win it and run through and get away with this. But you know what this was? This was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Man United. This is what Man United used to play like. Under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, almost always play a 4-2-3-1.
Because they need their wide attacking players high up the pitch in order to get that counter-attacking system.
What United are really good at is having pace for counter-attacks, and then you've got Sancho's going to be able to get in behind. And that same team who got absolutely done by Liverpool 5-0 at Old Trafford last season. So Ten Hag's dilemma is whether he is pragmatic, becomes more defensive, plays in the counter-attack because that suits the strengths of what Man United have, or does he try and implement the things he wants to, keep to those principles and say this is what I want to do going forward, even if we get pulled apart 5-0 by Liverpool like Solskjaer's team did, like Ralf Rangnick's teams used to do, because Rangnick gave up quite early on it, Solskjaer couldn't make them do it, and Ten Hag needs players, different players, to be able to play that he wants to play. So that's a dilemma. Good luck to Man United going forward. Good luck, Erik.
If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. The Athletic is where the Ralf Rangnick to Manchester United story broke, where a team of journalists have provided unrivaled coverage of Newcastle United's new ownership, and where dedicated writers cover every Premier League team, no matter their place in the table. And you can try it free now for 30 days.